Welcome to the Chris and Sam podcast. Pull up a bar stool and join us for a random conversation, guaranteed to make you think or your money back.
Hello, Chris.
Hey, Sam, how you doing?
I'm good. And you know what? This is number 10 of the Chris and Sam podcast.
Double digits, woohoo!
Actually, do you know, I just thought of something, and I better tell you this. You know, in the very first episodes, there's that little bit where I say what the episode's about.
Yeah.
Well, I've been forgetting to do that, because we pack up and then I go home. So I tried redoing it at home, and I can't recreate it because I don't have any of the mic gear at home. So the one I did was really, really terrible, and the last couple haven't had anything.
Right.
So there's just an intro. So remind me in a minute to do these other things.
So do some intros. We need to do intros.
Yeah.
Just for the last couple.
Just for the last couple.
Okay.
Well, actually, yeah, the
This
one,
one.
the one before this and this one.
Yeah.
That'll do.
All right. So, what else is new?
Oh,
And everybody reaches for their notepads.
Yeah.
And goes, oh, yeah, what else? Hey, did you saw that AFK got funded? This is
Yes.
probably old news by the time the listeners are there. And it is a little bit old news now, actually, but because you've had your back problems and stuff, we haven't caught up for a while.
no.
Yeah, AFK got funded. And
It's going to be interesting to see the time frame and when it comes out and all that sort of stuff. And when they write a song about you.
Yeah, and when they write a song about me. Well, I don't think it's about me. I think I just get my name slipped in there somewhere with
Is it like
probably 20 other people.
Is it like your full name or just Chris?
Honestly,
It'd
I
probably
have
just be-
no clue.
Yeah, okay. I'm looking. Okay.
I would think it's my full name because there's too many Chris's. Mind you, they'd save a lot of money. They go, oh, hey, we got 17 Chris's funded this. We'll just put Chris in there.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
They'll all think it's them.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. So
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
But yeah, it's interesting because they have filmed the pilot, so I should get a link, or should have gotten a link. I haven't yet, although I might have to check my emails to be honest, of the pilot, so I can see that. It was interesting. I was talking about this with Kat. Let me say that correctly.
Yes.
And yeah, she said because she also funded it.
Ah, very
But she
cool.
said it was a bit of an interesting one because normally you give stuff for free. You show the pilot. In this case, you would show the pilot so people could see what you did. But they didn't. They didn't show the pilot. They said, pay us and then you get to see the pilot, which she thought was a little
Yeah.
annoying. The one thing that they did do, though, which was pretty cool, was that they played the pilot at Armageddon.
Oh,
So
yeah.
They got a big crowd from
Yeah.
that because it's the right audience, obviously.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So that worked for them. But yeah, I suppose I should tell you, and I don't know if I've told you this. I've talked to Kat.
You've funded more stuff.
No, I've talked to
Okay.
Kat, and we are working on a crowdfunding book. So we're writing a book. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. It's been great so far. We've it's been a couple of weeks. We
Oh, you've
get on
actually
the
done
phone-
stuff.
Yeah, we get on the phone once a week and record it, actually. And we've got some Google Docs going, and I rewrite what we've recorded, and we've got topics we're going to go through and stuff. And
Oh,
we're going
that's
to
awesome.
later crowdfund for an editor and cover art
Yeah.
and get that done. But it's a long-ish project.
Yeah, you don't want to
and
rush these
we're
things.
only we're only just early on. But, man, I have learned so much in the last couple of weeks. It's amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah. So the crowdfunding book, you'll hear more about that, no doubt.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to make an appearance in future Chris and Sam podcasts.
And I can blame you because it is
You can blame me. Why?
It's your Dropkick or Kickstart that got me back into it because I was quite interested in crowdfunding. And
I still can't get over the two magnets and a piece of tape.
I know. We were on the phone and I said, "Look up Nope," and she goes, "They were looking for $500 and they got 93,000."
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that story. I've told so many people that Nope blew your mind a little.
Yeah. It's a good story.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, that was my little
No, that's cool.
tidbit.
The only thing I had sort of was, did you know the Reserve Bank of New Zealand's revamping the notes? The banknotes?
Yeah. I don't know any details about it, and I briefly saw something of a photo of one of the notes, like in a news feed on a social media, and I thought it was a joke, and then later I heard that they were doing it. I was like, oh my God, is that what it's going to look like?
Well, it's very, very bright, and it's still got the birds and stuff, and it's still got the same famous people, and that's all well and good, but someone somewhere must just have nothing better to do. Do you know how much this is going to cost?
No.
$80 million.
But that's all right, because they just print 80 million and just give it to them.
No, it's stupid. The reason they're doing it is because we have to upgrade it because of the threat of counterfeits. And then they said, but we don't get many of those in New Zealand. Look at the banknotes in America. They haven't changed since...
No, actually, that's incorrect. They change a lot.
Ah, but they're still...
They look the same. Generally, they look the same.
They're still way easier to counterfeit, apparently, than our notes.
Oh, yeah, well, they're one colour.
Yeah.
Knobheads.
It just drove me crazy because I thought that they could use the $80 million for something better. Because we've got
changing our flag.
No, but we've got all these people in need, and we've got homeless people, and we've got all these problems, and we've got people in Christchurch still living in God knows what, caravans and stuff. And, but anyway, that's my little rant. Actually, I've got another rant, but I won't do it because I don't know how you feel about this one.
That sounds pretty good. It's interesting. In talking about rants and things, I read a really interesting story I wanted to share with you.
Yeah.
About a village in, and I had written down in my notes, I think it's on the Google Notes, the name of the village, something like Wusseldorf or something in Germany.
Sounds good.
Anyway. And
what are they up to?
So they, unfortunately, it's the birthplace of Goebbels or one of the Nazi crowd, right?
Yeah.
And so the neo-Nazis descend on it once a year and do a march through the village.
Yeah, I saw the headline, but I didn't really read the story.
Yeah. So, and this has been going on for like 20, 25 years or something.
Yeah,
and the village hates it.
Yeah.
You just got all these neo-Nazis like descending on the village. They march through the middle of the town, and it's really annoying. So some bright spark, and this is genius. I think it's absolute genius in terms of social engineering.
Yeah.
What they did was they made it a fundraiser. And they have people sponsoring the march, and all the money goes towards these. There's apparently a fund over there for people getting out of neo-Nazism.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And so they've got signs up all along the route going, keep going, boys. You just made the £5,000 mark or euros mark or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And all the way through. And so these guys are marching like staunch as, but they're marching against themselves.
Yeah.
And the village was all there cheering them on. And it was like, that's genius. Dude,
yeah.
That is
turn it around.
brilliant.
Turn it around.
Yeah. Anyway, so I don't know if there's something you can do about the notes in terms of genius, but anyway.
No, there's not. Look forward to seeing them in to however long it is.
Yeah. So what do you think about changing the flag, by the way?
Interesting question. I'm not against changing how it looks, but I don't think there is any need to change it.
I think there is. I think we should change it.
Get away from the...
Well, yeah, get away from the colonial thing a little bit. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that what people have done for New Zealand in the past is bad or any of that stuff, but it's just like I think having our own identity is really important, and we should have a combined identity.
Do you have anything that you like?
I'm
silver fern?
Really, I'd like the silver fern. Black flag with silver fern on it, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
A Kiwi type thing, because the Canadian flag with the maple leaf is brilliant, like literally brilliant. You can't mistake it for anyone else. Our one is Yeah,
is that Australia?
Yeah,
no,
all the time, all the time. So anyway, I just thought I'd ask what you think.
Yeah, that's good. So I know that you're going to talk about this, so I'll just bring it up. You went and saw Interstellar, the movie.
Yes. I've been twice, actually. I went twice.
I wondered if you had.
Yeah. Why?
Just deduced some things.
Right. Okay.
Maybe.
No, Interstellar was a great movie. I really enjoyed it. I have heard other people not having such a great experience of it.
Oh, interesting. I've only heard good things.
Yes, I had only heard good things before I went, and then I've mentioned it to a couple of people, and they were like, "Eh."
I'm trying to think how they. Something I read, and they worded it, and they said it's such a deep, complex film when you think about it. Apparently, it's got many layers, and because McConaughey's in it, isn't he?
Yeah,
and it's something to do with how he portrays something. I don't know. Apparently, it's really good anyway.
Yeah,
I really should see this film.
The big thing I'd heard was that the science was good in it and stuff like that, and it made sense, and it was all actual stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh yeah, that sounds good. So I went along, and I thought that was true. But the real movie is the characters, and the people and the humanity of it. And yeah, I recommend it, and I recommend that it is something that you want to see it on a big screen.
I've heard that general consensus, and people have been saying people I've read online have been getting upset when it's not on like the massive IMAX screens.
It would be good.
I think that's in the States.
Oh yeah, I mean, we only have one in Auckland, don't we? We don't have an IMAX down here.
No, we've got the extreme screen or whatever.
Yeah, which is pretty good, but I didn't see it on that. I've seen it at Metro in Hamilton, and I've seen it out at Te Awa, but it was a small, standard screen out in Te Awa. But yeah, no, well worth seeing. There's a few twists in it. I picked up what was going on early on because I knew the science a little bit and had a guess at it. But so it's not like totally surprising, some of the stuff, but some of the stuff you sort of go, ooh, what's happening here? And then it happens and you go, oh, I didn't sort of see that coming.
Yeah,
but it does forewarn you a bit. But yeah, no, it's good.
Ah, very good.
How about you? Seen anything at the movies recently?
I saw... Oh, yeah, I'll tell you what I did see, actually. I've seen 2 movies recently. One of them we almost was going to watch at my sister's place, and we didn't. I think... Have I told you this? We ended up watching Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
Really, really cool. But the film that we were going to watch is 1,000 Ways to Die in the West.
Yes, I saw that recently myself.
And my sister was mouthing to me, don't watch it, it's so boring, you will fall asleep. And I was like, okay. And it is incredibly long for what it is. I found it dragged on for way too long.
Yeah.
And most of the jokes are the ones you see in the trailer, and there's not that much extra.
Yeah, I watched it. I thought it was quite funny. I was just trying to kill some time. I was just by myself, and alcohol may have been involved, so I didn't really feel that it was.
You wouldn't have liked it sober. The other movie,
and I was probably mucking around on my phone on social media at the same time.
It's not a movie that you're going to pay full attention to.
Yeah,
because it just goes on and on and on, and you're just like, oh yeah. The other movie I did see was Let's Be Cops, and that's surprisingly really good.
Let's Be Cops.
Yeah, I think it's called that.
Oh, okay. No, I hadn't heard of it.
Yeah. Dude, one of the dudes is a game developer and the other guy's just a useless bum. It's his flatmate. And they get the costumes and they put it on for like Halloween or something, or just to wear it, and everyone thinks they're cops. And the game developer guy says, oh, that was good for that night. It was good fun. And the other guy goes, let's do it all the time. And he turns up, he buys like an ex-police cruiser off eBay, and he gets all the decals made, and it's all stuck on, and he's got the radio and the light bar, and yeah, it's good, silly fun.
Oh, cool. And we can't sort of walk away from a talk about movies without the 2 big things that happened this week.
I can think of one. What's the second one?
So one of them was the release of the teaser for The Force Awakens, Star Wars.
Yes.
And
actually, Karen.
And so that's been a lot of people talking about that, which makes me laugh because it's 80-second trailer.
88.
88 second.
Don't get it wrong.
Trailer. Oh, I don't want to cut it short.
No.
Yeah, 88-second trailer. It's amazing how they can extrapolate this out. And the podcast that I was screwing up the sound on the other day was all about that trailer, and that was an hour 40 minutes talking about that 88-second trailer. It just cracked me up.
It's intense.
But yeah, so some people are very passionate. But I must say, It does look like it's going back to the old cinematographic. Cinema.
Sounds good. The old
Whatever.
way they filmed it.
The old way they filmed it with the big skies and the big...
Now
looking
there's
thing.
3 fan-made ones that have been made, but I've only seen one, and I was going to see the other 2, but I forgot, and I'll show them to you later. I don't know if you've seen these.
I saw one that was George Lucas's version of it.
I haven't seen the George Lucas one yet. There's one that's got all the lens flares that
Michael Bay
does.
Yeah.
And have you seen the Lego one?
No.
Frame by frame, exactly the same, all done in Lego. And the thing was, it was released, I don't know, like within 24 hours of that being released. It's crazy.
They must have had some inside dope. You can't. Oh, really?
It's
wow,
really cool.
That's amazing.
So it's all like stop motion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly the
Although
same.
I suppose, if you're making out of Lego, you can make it pretty
And then
quick.
I saw someone did the shot where the Millennium Falcon's flying.
Yeah.
Someone did a recut of it, but stabilized. Like they stabilized that footage, so you just see it going, flying really smoothly without the camera shake. It's really weird. I don't know why anyone would bother, but someone's done that. I saw that.
God, I didn't even notice the camera shake. I wasn't really thinking.
No,
about it.
because it's all part of it. But
Yeah, it's part of the experience.
So what's the
It's supposed to be.
second?
The second big thing, of course, was the final of the trilogy of The Hobbit. Was just had its big debut
premiere
last
in
night.
London.
Yesterday morning, whatever it is
Yeah.
in London time. So that's the end of an era, really.
Yeah.
Middle Earth in New Zealand, that was been 15 years.
That's a long time.
It's a career for some people. That has been literally the start in their full career so far. So that's a big deal for New Zealand, and well done, Sir Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
We had a bit of a discussion about it the other day, and it was like, so I don't know if you realise, I knew, but I wasn't paying a lot of attention to it. But so Peter Jackson did the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and then they said they're going to do the Hobbit, and he's like, I'm out, I'm not doing it. And Del
Toro was supposed to do it,
that's
and
right.
then he pulled out.
He pulled out like at the last minute, so
Yeah.
Peter Jackson had no choice; he had to do it. And we were talking about it because we were talking about George Lucas is doing the prequels after the Star Wars trilogy,
Yeah.
and the amount of pressure on somebody to do that. You've just delivered a world-changing trilogy,
Yeah.
either the Star Wars or the Lord of the Rings, and then they go, right, we want you to do it again.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the pressure?
I know.
Big.
But then he got a lot of criticism for possibly breaking this down into 3 films.
Yeah, we got that
'Cause people
first time.
Yeah.
But
But that's the way he wants to tell it. And I think that's what he... Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty certain when they pulled him in and said, look, Del Toro's out, you're doing it, he said, right, but I have to do it on my terms.
yeah,
Actually, I've got a...
but he's one of the major funders, executive producers of it anyway, wasn't he? That was why he was in the project.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think he was funding it to some degree. So if he's funding it, he can...
Yeah.
He's got a lot more control over what he's going to do anyway.
Yeah.
Just like Lucas did. Lucas
Yeah.
totally funded the second trilogy, the prequels. But he went back to doing a lot of stuff like the way it should be done, and threw a lot of possibly unneeded stuff in the prequels.
Yeah.
Possibly. But anyway, I am going to, I think, the premiere in Hamilton 1 minute past midnight in a week's time, just under a week's time.
Ah.
So, yeah.
Is that... Where are they doing that one?
I think it's at Tiawa.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, so if you want to come along, I think
We
it's
will
21
see
bucks.
if I'm working or not.
Yeah, it's a Wednesday night, Thursday morning. So it's actually Thursday morning, 1 minute.
That could
Past
possibly work out for me. I don't know. Just
Yeah.
depends.
Yeah.
I'll have to look. That's pretty cool. Actually, talking about the movie thing, have you been keeping up the play with the Sony hacking?
Oh, yeah. North Korea has hacked...
No. Now they don't think it's North Korea.
Oh, right.
That's
So
the story.
I'm behind the
That's
times.
the story today. 100 terabytes of data is what they think's been taken.
Jeez.
But it's real interesting because it depends on what news outlet or media source you have. So originally, apparently, the people that contacted them said we've taken your data, we've had inside help to do this, because it is a big task.
Yeah.
And I think their words were, you know what you've done, and if you don't talk about it, we're going to release everything, whatever that means. So who knows? But Fury's out. But they can't completely work out if that's from the hack or not. But that was put up on the torrent sites straight away and it's had millions of downloads. So that's pretty much been released without actually ever coming to a theatre.
That's funny because Pauline Gillespie was in, she's on the Hits radio.
Yeah.
She was in London for the Hobbit release.
I actually heard that the other day, because the only radio station I could get is their one.
And they were saying, she says, I was on the street and people are selling Fury. I'm like, this isn't even out at the movies yet.
Yeah.
They've got DVDs of it.
And Annie. I don't know they did that as a movie. That's the other one that got leaked.
Annie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Yeah, nobody cares.
So, but they're taking it very seriously. It's a criminal matter. They've brought in officials and stuff.
You think .com's behind it now?
No.
Not Kim Jong-il, but Kim.com.
No, but he's releasing the internet parties turning up in America to run against Hillary Clinton. Have you heard that one?
Are you keeping? How are you keeping a straight face when you're saying this?
I don't know. He's not actually involved in it as such. He's just going to be their public relations type person. But they want to set up for the 2016, I think it is, election, and run against her and have a party all set up in America. That's what he quoted or stated yesterday.
Do you know how much that costs in the States? It's like...
Yeah, that's when they get all the people that donate. You know, it's crazy.
It's a ludicrous size of.
I know.
The guy's nuts.
It is, but so I think Sony's just got their email back on now. They had to bring in this company. They keep mentioning this company, and I don't know who they are, but apparently they're the go-to people if you've been absolutely hacked. This company will come in and fix it all up and get you back online and running.
You didn't get the name. You don't recall the name?
No, not off the top of my head.
Right.
It didn't even make any sense to me, so it's not memorable.
Yeah.
Well,
if you're the go-to person, you don't have to be memorable, you know? You just...
No, that's right.
You just have to exist.
And they're probably on standby, 24/7, just sitting around with laptops and stuff. What are we doing now? Nothing. Oh no, Sony's been hacked. Let's go.
Ghostbusters. Who you got to call?
Yeah.
All right, so well, that is weird. I had some credence to the North Korean thing, although I always wonder about that because they're always blaming,
Yeah, but have you seen North Korea's amazing sub that they had?
No, or their moon landing.
Oh, the sub is like an ex-Soviet sub that's 50 years old. It's just been repainted, and they're all going around going, oh, look at this, look at that, because no, you can't say anything bad, because he'll kill you. And they were like, oh, look at this, and they reckon it had amazing capabilities, but it's like a 50-year-old warship. It's like a bit of metal floating in the water.
But it can go underwater.
Yeah, and I don't know. It was only ever surfaced. I don't know if it went underwater. So I think North Korea's all talk.
Yeah,
a lot of the time.
Yeah, well, do you think Putin would have been behind it? He seems to be behind everything else. He's sending the fleet to invade the G20 at Sydney, and then and of course they helped shoot down that plane.
Yeah, there's a lot of really clever hackers in Russia.
Yeah,
and they said but they did say whoever did do the Sony hack was at the government level. It's not your average group of people. It has to be done by like a government somewhere.
Wow,
that's that big, because it's not a traditional hack where it's just their website. It's their internal servers and stuff within the company.
Yeah, hence the need for inside access, because somebody actually has to put a hard point in there. Somebody's got to tap into it physically.
So. Yeah, so that's all interesting.
Yeah.
What else have you been up to this week?
What else have we been up to this week? We had the Hamilton Filmmakers Network Christmas Bash that I sort of helped put together. So
I heard that went really well.
Yeah. We had over a dozen people there, and it was good because a lot of people hadn't met each other.
Oh,
I think I knew everybody there.
You are the what's that word?
Networker?
Yeah, networker.
Yeah. The spider in the center of the web. No, I sort of did know most of them. I think all of them, and I think I invited all of them, although I did recommend that people invite others. And the idea was to get people that are interested in making films from all sorts of access points. So you've got actors and crew guys, and we had our special effects guy, Roy, you mentioned before.
Yeah.
He was there, and who else do we have? The Star Wars film director writers, both Ben and Derek was there. Julia Reynolds from Shepherd was there. My director Adam from that's done our Trop Fest thing, and we're working on a project next year together. He was there. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Sounds really
and
good.
There might be some other things coming out about that, but we will leave that in a suspenseful state.
Yeah, you can just leave it in suspense.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
What? Yeah. What I ended up doing this week, I'm just trying to find the name because if I get this wrong, it's not going to be good. I'm like an honorary member of the school PTA. I live miles away from my daughter's school, but I help them out with stuff, and I'll help them out with sausage chisels and whatever. And that's right.
Yeah.
But anyway, last year they had a sort of Christmas get together, but it's just desserts at this restaurant that's just around the road from the school. And I didn't go last year, but this year I was free, so I went last night. Extremely long day, really, really tired. And the restaurant's called Gostiana, and Gostiana's in Ruakahia, if you know Hamilton, on the way out to Ohalpo. And It's on the corner. It looks like a Mediterranean house.
Right.
So that's
I think I know where you're talking about.
Yeah. And actually, you need to go to this place. I don't know if they'll actually do any food that you'll eat, but you need to go there. So the food is really, really good. I'll start saying that. And apparently, a long time ago, the food was really, really cheap, like ridiculously cheap. But you get this, the food is huge. Like you get this, like the person next to me had an entree last night, and I thought it was a main meal. Anyway, they've raised the prices to normal standard prices that you find in town, but the food is still the same, and are big meals. And last night, all the old people were there. Lots of old people. And an interesting point was, lots of old people there. And we're sitting at the table, and I'm looking around, and there's lots and lots of stuff everywhere. It's one of those places that has stuff all on the wall.
It's like your museums.
Yes, sort of. and it's got no real theme. So I turned to the person next to me, and they thought this was funny, but I'm deadly serious here. If there's a zombie apocalypse happening, or about to happen, and I'm on that side of town, I'm going into that restaurant. Do you know why? Because there is
blades.
There are so many actual weapons everywhere.
Yeah.
There's maces, there's armor, there's shields, there's daggers, swords, knives, there's muskets and shotguns and all this stuff stuck to the wall. There was enough stuff there to kit out like 10 people. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, for the zombie apocalypse. I'm always thinking about it.
Yeah. You have to be.
You got to be ready, man.
You have to have a plan. And if you don't, I'm sorry, you're going to be eaten.
And you're going to end up eating other people.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see the... it won't be a spoiler now because this will come out after a while.
Yeah.
Did you see the latest Walking Dead this week?
No.
So, have you been watching Walking Dead?
They actually talking about... No, I have no idea what's going on. I know it was zombies. They had to apologise, didn't they? Did you know that?
I heard something about it.
The network had to apologise.
I saw somebody go, spoiler. I saw
a
headline with spoilers or something and went, oh crap, I haven't watched it yet. And it was recorded on my TiVo.
Yep.
So I was like, I'm not going to read that until I've watched
Yeah.
it. So I watched it last night and then I never got around to reading it again. But yeah, one of the earlier characters died. It was unexpected.
Yeah.
And yeah.
How dare those writers do that?
Well, I mean, dude, I've read the comics and nothing is sacrosanct, and all the main characters pretty much are dying all the time. So it wasn't really surprising. And this character was not like the biggest character in there.
Yeah.
But the way the story arc had been going, you didn't expect it. I didn't expect it.
No, I think that's what threw a lot of people. Talking about zombie programs, I can't remember what it's called. Is the other one DayZ? Have you seen that?
That's a computer program. That's a game.
No, not that. There's another TV series all about zombies, and it's called... I can't remember. Someone was talking about it last night, and someone said, "Do you mean World War Z?" And they said, "No, not the movie. It's another series, and it's been made, and they've already done like 1 or 2 seasons." And the gist of the story is they've got a person that is immune to the zombies. He's carrying the antibodies or whatever, and they have to get him from one side of the country to the other.
Oh, wow.
To get him to a research centre, and that's what the whole show's about. So I think, it might be something else you need to check out.
Oh, yeah, I will, actually. And that's funny because in The Walking Dead, of course, that's what they thought they were doing.
Yeah.
Having read the comics, I knew better. And then it was revealed 2-3 weeks ago. The guy went, no, there is no cure. I just lied because I'm useless. And if I told you there was a cure and you have to get me to Washington, you guys would protect me. And then the guy nearly killed him for doing that.
Yeah.
And which is great. I mean, it's exactly what you would do if you had
if you came across that,
and you had a bunch of people and you could sell them on that sort of snake oil. You'd be doing it because it'll save your life, bro.
Yeah, sure would. Got to work the game.
Personally, I'll just go with my skills.
Yeah, I don't think my skills would help me much.
Yeah, it's the cooking and stuff. At least you could grow some pumpkins, bro.
Yeah, no.
All right, well, that's probably enough from us for this session.
Yeah, that went really quickly, actually.
I know, really quickly. You can catch us on the Chris and Sam podcast.com.
Yep, facebook.com/the Chris and Sam podcast.
Or Chris and Sam pod.
On Twitter. And you can check us out on all good podcasting.
Oh, before we go, I've got to say.
No, we'll do that next time.
Okay, we'll do it next time.
I know what I was going to say. So tune into episode 11 to find out what Chris just got really excited about.
Yes.
Okay. Until next time, I'm Sam.
Next time. See you later.
See ya.
Hope you enjoy the show. Make sure to subscribe and we'll catch you next week. Don't forget to tell your friends.